Hello, Game Dev Journey. Welcome back. Thanks for joining. Okay, cool. So let me get this all set up and then we can go from there. I'll just see if I can get this running. So I'm going to be looking at a couple of products that I have got to review. I'm going to be setting those up. So thanks for joining me to have a look at those for today's stream. So basically I will have a look at what's all the W's? What in the what? um, so let me. I'm just trying to sort out a few things so I can see where I am. There, and that's live. So that's available there. Cool. Okay, winning. Okay, it's come through now. Cool. So let's do that. So we've got live chat. So there's a chat, so you can ask questions. I see Game Dev Journey's already doing that. So let me put a. Should we do a poll? Let's do a poll, and if other people join, then we can see what they want to vote for as well. So let's get some of the stuff in here. What could we put up? So, what should I ask everyone as a poll? What do you think? Should we do prediction of what will happen for... Okay, let's put this up and see what people answer with on this. And so that's that. Let me do that. So here we create a poll. That's the question. Okay, so the poll's on now, so you can all vote for that and see what you think. So, okay, one of the products I wanted to look at today, which I've been setting up, is a camera. Apparently the Galaxy Buds Pro 4 is coming in 26. Do you like the headphones or earbuds? Yeah, I've got headphones like this for when I'm, gaming or editing and things like that. So these are quite nice because they're clear and they're also a bit of noise cancelling and they're more over the ear. So I've got more, I can hear more of the sound that's coming through them. But the earbuds that I do have, I've got quite a few different sets. And they're also quite clear. It's just, if I'm chewing, they sometimes move and they can fall out and that, which is okay. But I do have these over the ear ones and then also bone conducting ones, which are quite cool, and those you can use for like swimming and that. But these ones are over the ear and they fit like that over the ear, and then this can swivel around closer to the ear or further away. But this one is, it's nice. You can hear the sound, but you can hear everything still that's going on around you, which is also nice. So if you want to still be aware of your surroundings, these I like, which are quite cool. So if the dogs are barking or someone's calling me, I can hear it quite easily. Where if I've got in-ear ones with noise cancelling or the over-the-ear ones, you can't really hear that. So, but when I need to focus, I'll wear those, and then I put my little image on outside the door, which says I'm on air. So it's sort of like a little radio station. So Anthony Rivera, hello, thanks for joining. What's the difference between those and the bone conduction? Well, so the bone conduction ones actually use the bone from the ear to vibrate and get the sound through. But these ones are just normal speakers, but they're just over the ear, so they don't actually hurt your ear canal if you push them in and that. They just sort of rest in front of it. So that's the difference with these ones and that. Name a country in Africa that starts with the letter K. Dingle. Hello, Dingle. How's it going? Oh, Game Dev Journey. Do you know a country that starts with a K in Africa? Anthony, anyone over there that knows one? I know one. Are we going to wait for everyone to do it? Should I put a poll up for that, or see if anyone answers? So that's no, but I know one that starts with an N and ends with an R. Well, you've got Kenya. Can you track one if you lose it? Because that's my problem always. I lose one earbud. The Allway ones, I think these ones do have a track thing. I know the Galaxy Bud ones do have that. It's got like a little bird that tweets as the sound. I've done a video on one of them. There's a review I did a long time ago, and you want to find the earbud. It does tweet, and it's like a little bird tweeting, and it gets louder, and then you can locate it like that. So yeah, you can track them. The newer ones you can track, but then standard headphones, I don't have another set laying around. Those ones, they don't have the software to do it, so they're just standard ones. Yeah, so those are the, let me see if I've got them here. I've got a whole box of headphones and gadgets I've been using. So these are the bone conducting ones. So that sort of fits, you don't actually hear, you can sort of hear like the sound coming out, but these ones fit over the back like so, and then over your ear like that, and it presses on this bone over here just in front of your ear where this little bump is. So that actually pushes on there, and then it generates the sound like that. So that's quite nice, and you can also use them for swimming and that, so the sound gets transferred through that. So those are the bone conducting headphones, which are really cool. I do like those. Those are quite nice. So if you're doing that kind of sport, you can have that. Then the other headphones, let me just see. So those are the bone conducting ones. Then I've got these ones, which are the Samsung ones. So these are the earbuds here. So I'm assuming the new ones you're talking about, Game Dev Journey, are these. So that's what it looks like. It's like a little earbud. It looks like a bean. So that's it there. And then these do have location, so you can find them when they're lost. And then also you can charge them. The case is wireless charging, so you can place them on a charger like so, and then it would charge like that, and the light would light up. So I can plug that in and show you if you want. So I'll do that. So the charger's plugged in. The light should show. Let's see if you can see it. I don't know if it will pop up there. Is that coming up there? No. No, can't see it. Very faint. That didn't. Come on, let me try again. Let's see. No, there we go. I don't know if you can see the little red light there, but that's charging there. So they are wireless from that, and then the case has some battery power in it, so that can also give it a bit of extra energy if you need that. So the case can charge them as well. So that's the earbuds. That's the bone conducting ones. So that's those ones. Those are cool. This thing's pretty cool. It's a little fan. It's a waist fan. So this one, you basically tuck it in on your belt of your pants or your trousers or wherever you're from, your shorts, and then you tuck your shirt over that, and you can clip it there so it doesn't get caught. And then you switch it on, and then this blows nice cold air, sucking it in from here and blowing cool air into your shirt and keeping you cool. It's also got a little torch on there if you want a torch, and it's got it's also connected as a power bank as well, so you can charge your phone or whatever you want with that, or your earbuds. And yeah, it's got quite a few settings. It's a 10,000 milliamp battery, so it does last long, or you can hang it over your neck. So that's quite nice for when you get hot. And yeah, that was just tangled in the earphone, so that's why we spoke about that there. um, okay, so let's get back to the product. So let's see. So if you're joining, thanks for joining. If you guys haven't subscribed or anything and you want to subscribe and you like what I'm doing with the products and the reviews and everything, please do so. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going through a couple of products that I'm busy reviewing and testing out and seeing how they work and stuff, so I can get the setup right, and make sure that everything's working, so I'm not fumbling too much in the video. So the one I wanted to talk about is this camera that's I'm going to be filming soon. I've done the unboxing and that. Now this camera comes from Nearstream, and they sent me a microphone to review, which I've done before on the channel, which is this thing here. So this is the microphone. It's very light. The stand is, made of metal and that, so it's nice and strong. But this microphone is so light, this piece here, and I mentioned that in the video quite a few times. And you can actually connect it to other camera equipment and that, so it's not just for streaming and that. You can use the USB-C and plug it straight into your phone, and then this will use the mic, which is really clear. It knocks out any surround sound and things like that. It's got a touch mute button over here, so everything's with touch when it's on. And you've got the gain over here, so you can turn it up and down, which is really cool. And let's see if I can take the cover off. So that's what it looks like without the cover, or the wind stopper. So that's there, so it stops all the p and the loud S's that come through. So that's what that's for, to protect that. So that's the microphone from them. So Nearstream, very cool, works really well. And this is the camera, which I've put on a mount now because I want to see what it does. But this thing is so cool. It's a 4K streaming camera, and it's got 8 microphones on top here with AI noise cancelling, which is very cool. And then the thing is, it can plug into a microphone, so that can plug into that microphone I just showed you now. And is that a condenser mic? Yeah, I haven't had a lot of success with them lately. I use a lav mic. Yeah, no, this one is a condenser. It's not like the Yeti X, which I've got here, which has got, I think it's got 6 condensers in. So that one's very cool. But this camera is, it's very solid. And it's got HDMI, so you can plug it straight into a machine, like a laptop or a PC, and then you can view it from there, what's going on. You've got USB-C as well, so that can plug into a PC as well. And then you've got RJ45, sorry. So that's a network cable that can plug in here, and that then can use with multiple versions of this. So you can have 2 or 3 of these cameras running into like a DVR system, and you can have all of them recording in one place, and you can switch between them and that. They do have a wireless one of this, which is really cool, but that's an awesome one. And they use them for, you can use them for like sporting events. So say you're filming say baseball as an example, that you can have one filming each of the bases, and you can switch between them. You can have, there's software as well which you can do overlays on as well. If you're doing interviews, you can have one on each. And this one has 30 times zoom on it, and it's got 10 times optical. So when I was testing it out, where it was sitting behind the desk and I was zooming in on me, it auto focuses everything as well. So it's really cool. Yeah, it's 4K. It is 4K. It's so clear. When I was putting it on, sorry, when I zoomed in, I was zooming in and zooming in and zooming in. It sort of zoomed in on my shoulder here because that's where it was facing, and I could actually see the thread in my shirt when it was fully zoomed in. It was so cool. It's very cool, and it can do, and everything's controlled with this remote. So there's no buttons or anything on that camera. It's all with this remote, and you can flip the image. So you can do that. You can lock it there. You can switch off the microphones on the top and use another microphone if you want. You can switch the camera on and off. And then what you can do, it does auto focusing as well. So it will auto focus, and if you switch off the panning mode or the panoramic mode, it will auto focus onto the person's face and choose that as the main scene which is very awesome. And then it's got normal zoom over here, and then it's got a faster zoom, and it's like a really nice slow zoom coming in, and yeah, the quality is amazing. And there's different presets as well, so you can have a preset for good lighting, low lighting, whatever that might be, and you can set all of that. Yeah, it's just really good. There's all the menu options are in here as well, so you can change certain contrast levels and stuff on the screen. So if you can connect it up to OBS, then it works over there. It's really good. I'm really impressed with it. So I need to film the usage of it and everything, and then that video will be coming out at some point. Would be amazing for streaming. You should use it for your next live or video. Yeah, I want to, because I'm doing a vertical live stream on the phone, I want to do a horizontal stream from another camera as well, but I'm not sure how two streams would work at once, because one would have to go in. But if I can, I don't know, I'd have to see if I can cast the image like guys that do gaming. So I'd have me on the top here, and then maybe at the bottom would have another version of the camera. So I need to figure out how that works, because I'm new to the streaming stuff. So we'll see how that works, but that is really good. Does it auto track you if you move around? No, it doesn't. It doesn't move, but it's got some clever software in it. So if you do want to pan left and right, what it does is it sort of jumps slightly in, and then it can move left and right or up and down. So it looks like the camera's moving from the scene, but the camera's actually stationary, which is it's really clever. It's all done in the software. It's very cool. So I've got the booklet here, so I can read some of the stats out to you. So yeah, so it can do 1080p in 30 frames a second. It can do 4K at 30 frames a second, and it can do 1920 by 1080p at 60 frames a second. So that's pretty cool. So you can do some nice slow-mo as well. It's got 8 microphone array with a 360 spatial pointing array. 5-meter radius for effective pickup distance, so that's when it would be the clearest for the area around it. And then Dylan Stephen, gooning or edging? Okay. Well, what would you do? Then USB port Type C, aux, HDMI, RJ45, the remote control, and it weighs 560 grams, so it is a solid piece of equipment, and it is good. The quality is really good. But yeah, it's got optical zoom of 10 and digital zoom of 4. So it's really impressive, this thing. The quality of the camera is just so good. I really can't wait to put it onto, and I hope it comes through in the video. I really do hope it comes through, and you can see the quality of it in there. So that's the one thing I'm going to be reviewing soon and getting up a video. Then the other thing which I'm doing, which I think is also really cool, is this remote over here. So this is a universal remote, but it's all digital. It's got a little base that you plug in to receive, and what you can do is you can program any remote that you have. I thought it's not that good and stuff, but when I was looking at some of the credentials and what it can do, it says it's compatible with over 500,000 devices, which is pretty impressive. So it comes with a little hub, a receiver hub, and it also comes with cables for any infrared that you might want to extend into cupboards and things like that. But it also comes with activities, which I thought was really interesting and really cool, because what you can do with that is you can link it up to your assistant at home, which is your Google Assistant or your Amazon Assistant there. I don't want to say it because otherwise they trigger and start talking to each other and things. It comes with a mobile app where you can set things up as well. It works with infrared and Bluetooth, and the remote lasts about 45 days, which is really good. So it's got a USB-C plug over here, so you just charge it and that's it. So it runs off that. And what you do is you set up a device. So let's say I've got this, which I wanted to test, which was quite cool. I've got a fan up here which is running, and that's a fan on the ceiling, which is an LED fan, which has separate buttons for the lights and for the fan itself. So that's the remote for the fan, and then what you do is you code it into here. So if I go down to devices, you see I've got study fan at the top, which is there. And then if I click on that, then it goes into all the different settings like power, what I set up, and I can scroll through those. So that's available there. So what I did was I programmed the buttons manually on the remote because this is not available as one of the 500,000 devices. So what I did was, that's the button for the fan, that's the button for the light, and then you've got your increase speed, decrease speed, you've got reverse the fan here, you've got a timer there, and then you've also got, oh, that's the reverse over there, sorry. And then you've got the brightness up and down, or the speed up and down for the fan. So up, you aim it at the hub and you push that, and then it synchronizes with this remote, and then once you've finished, all of it synchronizes together, and then you've got all the buttons available. So if I so this is the remote here, but I'll be using this one. If I press on, I don't know if you saw the light on this side of me coming on, because that's the light that's there. So I haven't touched this, which is the fan remote. I'm using this. So then if I press it again, then the light should go off, and there we go. So I guess I could face it up there and show you. So there's the light there, on, using this remote, off, and there we go. So that is now programmed into this thing, which is the universal remote. And then I coded in the, or I programmed in the TV as well, the amplifier, which has got so many buttons, and then those you can actually find in the app online. So when you find them online, it already has the preset buttons and everything set up for you, so you can just do that, and then you know, you're good to go. But you can alter the buttons and edit them so that they work the way you want them to work. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. So 83% are night owls. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Let's have something to drink. So I see a few more people join. Thanks for joining, guys. I'm just talking about some of the products that I'm reviewing, some of the things I'm sort of testing and just seeing how they work, and then, you know, once I've got that, I film what I've done, and then I'll have to edit that and get that all set up and done for my final video that's gone out. So what I'm doing now, I'm going to put up another poll if guys want to answer that. So let's see. Let me go here. Everyone likes cats and dogs. So let's do that one. Let's end that poll. Let me start another one. So I'll put that up. So who is a cat person and who is a dog person here? And then this one. So that's the next poll that's up, if you guys want to vote on that one. So we've got a dog already. Yeah, we don't want that on there. So that's okay. So I've got the sites there. Cool. So the next thing I want to look at is there's another product. Where is it? Yeah, it's this little sort of briefcase that I've got over here. Does anyone want to guess what's inside there? What do you think's inside this little briefcase? It's not very big. It's about 30 centimeters wide, maybe 8 to 10 high, about 20 deep. So it's about as big as an A4 sheet of paper. So what do you think's inside this? So game dev journey projector. Okay. 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 So, did you see that little icon go up? So yeah, that was there. Oh, what are these? Make your message stand out. Like super stickers, super chats. Oh, cool. Okay, so that's there. All right. So, okay. So, you think it's a projector, yeah? Okay. Well, let's have a look. Let's open it up and see. And I just finished filming this morning. So I'm going to be editing the video and getting this out as the next product that I've reviewed. So this is what it's got. It's got a nice little sleeve in the top here. I can turn it that way. Maybe you can see it. So I've opened it up. There's the sleeve. And it comes with a little package with some cleaning stuff in it. So that's cool. You've got some manuals over there. So that's what's available in there. And then we have got, let me move that out of the way. So we've got a remote. So yes, it is a projector. So that's the remote. Takes two AAA batteries. It's got a plug like so. Power bank there. And then we've got the HDMI cable which they send with it as well. So there's the HDMI cable. So that's all in this little casing. And then the projector itself. Now it says it supports 4K. I just want to see, I've got the books here, so I'll go through some of the stuff with you. But it's closed into a nice little pouch here. It's actually quite a nice little carry case, which would be nice for other projectors to have. So this is it here, very small. This is called a Jotun. So this is the Jotun projector. It's a Y9 and pretty standard. Look, it's quite small, as you can see. That's a very small projector. It's not that heavy. It's not autofocus, and that's, you have to manually do the autofocus and keystone, but there is keystone adjustments within the software when you do switch it on and that. So it comes with the lens cover, so that's cool. So that's there. That looks nice. My biggest question will be fan noise. Yeah, everyone asks about fan noise on these things, and this one is quite loud. But the thing is, when you set it up with a Bluetooth speaker, which I did, you sort of ignore that noise. But if you do focus on it, then you are more aware of it, which is, it's like saying, oh, I didn't really notice a lot of blue Ford Fiestas or whatever. Now that you've been speaking about it, you're probably going to see loads of them all the time. So it's sort of similar to that. You just got to really ignore it. It's got an infrared sensor here. It's got a speaker here. And then the fan comes out there. It's got HDMI, so you can plug in laptops and any other device. You can project your screen with that. It's got auxiliary as well, so you can plug in other sound sources or sound for that. USB, so you can put in a USB stick and watch photos, have a slideshow running, files, you can look at files, and also any video files can come with that as well. Then we've got the power cable as well, so that goes in there. You've got your adjustment over here to bring it up and down, so you can raise the height of it. So that's available over there. And yeah, that's it. The keystone and focus is on the top. So I was testing it this morning, and it's actually quite a nice little projector. It's not one of the best projectors I've reviewed or tested or anything, but it's actually quite good for what it does, and it's connected to the Wi-Fi quite quickly. I went into Netflix because it has Netflix on there. You can get Amazon Prime, all of those things as well, and it worked really well. The quality was really good. The colors were quite rich. You can install other apps on there as well. Connected to a Bluetooth speaker. You can connect your phone and mirror the screen as well if you want to do that. So you can do screencasting. The zoom is manual, like I said. What else is there?
You can reduce the screen size as well to 50%, so if you're bringing it closer or further away. It's LED, it's the Y9 model. It can do a 40 to 200 inch screen, and they recommend 120 inch, and the projection distance is 1.4 meters to 4 meters distance from the wall, but recommended is 2. So there's some of the images you can see of screen projection size, so that's handy. And what else is there? HDMI, yeah, so it's got Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, headphones, 60 watts, and it weighs 1.12 kilos. So it's not very heavy for the little projector that it is, but I do like the little carry case, which other projectors don't have, which would be nice to have, because once you've finished using it or you want to take it somewhere, I think that's really cool. So if you're traveling and you're working or whatever and you want a little projector, that will work nicely with a laptop, and it's just easy to carry, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, it just makes sense to have a case, because other projectors you've got to have the projector out, and then you've got the lens cover that can fall off, and you've got all the cables and whatever. So that's, I do like this, it's nice. So that's there. What else is there that I wanted to look at? So let's see. I don't know if there was anything else there. I was setting up that camera, which I was doing. I don't know if you guys want me to show you anything of my setup, or what I'm doing, or how I do it, or ask me any of those questions. So that's the projector over there. Let me just see, I've got some messages here. Okay, so that's there. So yeah, so if you're just joining, welcome to the stream. You know, I'm busy looking at some of the products that I'm busy filming and getting ready for reviews and for videos, so that's what I'm busy doing. So I'm just showing you some of the stuff before the videos actually come out, so you can actually see some of the gear that I get, which is quite cool. So yeah, drop a question in the chat if you want to ask me anything about the products, or how I film them, or how I edit, or what my setup looks like. You know, feel free to do that, and I'll answer them. And if you are enjoying the stream, you know, feel free to subscribe and like it and share it. You know, it all helps me reach more people, so that the content can potentially help them make decisions on you know, what they want to buy or consider, or whatever that might be. So let's go there. I just want to see if I can go into here. I'm just checking a few things. I'm just getting a few messages coming through, so I just wanted to see what's going on with that. That's fine, that's there. Okay, so we've got the poll that's available there. Okay, cool. So, does anyone want to look at anything that I have other than some of the products that I'm reviewing now? I do have, this is a cool product. This is cool, which I've reviewed. This is a transcriber. So it's from iFlyTech. It's a smart recorder, and it's got microphones on the top and around the back, as you can see there. A little screen over here. And then what you can do is you switch it on, you can go through some of the settings with that there, and then you record, and then you can just basically place it on the desk in a meeting room, or if you want to stand and hold it, it will record whatever the person's talking about. So you can record speeches, things like that. You can go volume up and down, and it's USB-C. It lasts really long, the battery lasts really long, and you can transcribe. You get the file with the transcription that gets sent through, that you can download, and then you've obviously got the audio file as well. So that's all available from that little device, which is really cool. Sorry, just clearing my throat. So if there's another brother. So that's me. And what I've got here, this is a cool little device here. This is a a screen mirroring device. So what this does is this snaps onto the back of your phone, and you can use it to see what's going on with your rear camera, or you can have it remote and walk with that around and see what your camera is filming on your phone, so you don't have to always have your front camera filming. So I could theoretically put the back camera on here, and then I can use this to see what's going on the back on the phone, so I don't have to keep looking at the camera to see if I'm in shot or whatever's in shot. So this is a cool device. It basically duplicates the screen. What I'm seeing now, it would show that, but using the back camera, so then I can see what's going on. And that's from Sanko, and it uses a MagSafe clip, so it can snap onto the back of the phone, and then you can use the back camera as a front camera. So that's a really cool device, which I do use, and it does help because then you get better quality videos using the back camera. So that's very cool. Then what else is there? So that's available there. So I've done that one, that review there. That review I've done, which was quite cool. So I've got 2 votes on the poll. So that's the poll there. So are you a dog or a cat person? So do you like cats or dogs? We've got 2 people that are just liking dogs so far. That's interesting. So let's look at should we move my screen a bit and see if we can look at our setup a bit. I don't know if you can see any of this stuff here. So that's there. So that's there. Here's the camera. So there's another camera that I've got. So that's the setup I've got here, which I'm using. So this one here, so I can plug that in. Let me move, I'll move that over there. So that's the remote. I'll move that remote there. And then what I can do is, this is just tangled in all the stands and that. So I'll just put that in there, and we can switch this camera on, and that should then start coming on. So that's coming on now, and then I can plug this microphone in there. That's power. So that's there. Okay, so this is the Neostream mic, and then that's the Neostream camera. This thing's got 8 microphones on top, but you can also use another mic if you want to be further away, because it says there's about a 5-meter radius for receiving the sound from whatever people talking, whatever. But yeah, so I'm going to be testing the sound on this thing as well, which is pretty cool. And then what else? I've enjoyed the live, and your PC looks epic in the background. Have to go. Catch all next time. Ah, cool. Thanks, Game Dev Journey. Thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate it. And if anyone wants to know, Game Dev Journey is a developer. He does 2D and 3D games using Godot, and he's just released a book, which is quite good, and it's doing quite well. And yeah, you should go check him out. Go check his site out. He's got a website, and he's also got a channel up where he does some tutorials and stuff about games and gives his views on those. But yeah, he's published a book, which is quite cool. So maybe check him out and see if you're interested in game development. So well done to Game Dev Journey for getting that book publishing deal. That's awesome. Okay, so so drop your questions in the chat, and then I can answer those for you if you guys are interested in anything or what I'm doing, and I'll do that for you. Well, there's his channel there. He's just pasted it into the bottom there. So go check him out. It's that's his YouTube channel, and yeah, he's published a book. So that's really cool. So well done to him. That's awesome stuff. So I want to see if I can get that. So this camera is now on. If I can lift it up, I'll just bring that up a bit, and then I'll just aim it there. So what I'll do is I'll open the software that it runs just so I can see what it's doing, and then once that's open, let me see if I can see what it's seeing. Okay, so it's picked up, it's seeing the stream now, it's seeing my screen open, so that's all there, and it's very clear. It's such a clear camera. I'm very impressed with that. So that's open there. So if I go, it's not going to show properly if I do that. But what I could do is, let me do this, bring this here, and then if I flip it around, you might be able to see what's going on. So that's so there's this camera that I've got on the right now. So that's the near stream filming me, and then there's my live stream that's going on now on the phone. So that's what I've got set up here, and I'm seeing the live stream there and this camera over here, which is very clear. So let me just pull this a bit further back and set it up like so. So then you can see what that looks like. So that's there, and there's me on the right, and then you've got the remote which controls it. So I've got that here. So now if I zoom in, you can see how that zooms in there. How cool is that? And it's all done with the software that's built in to the camera. So there's no buttons on the camera or anything like that. So let me just move that more to the right. Let me see if I can aim that. See, I don't know where that's going to zoom in now. I wonder if let me see if I can get asterisks and obliques. So that's there. Well, let me zoom down a bit. Go more down. Let me adjust that. See if we can do it. So that should be the center. So let's zoom in and see what it's like. So here I am just in the side of the screen. So there's my stream that I'm filming, and then that's this camera that I'm testing now. So if I zoom in, this is the slow zoom. So that remote here, it's got this zoom over here, and then there's a faster zoom here with sort of a lightning bolt on the remote. So I'll press that one, and you'll see the zoom is much quicker. So I'll just let that go in, and then I'll just let it focus, because the lighting just needs to adjust, and there's quite a few objects there. So that is zoomed in quite a bit now, and it's actually really clear. So I'll carry on going, see how far we can go for it to stay clear. That is that's so clear. Look how zoomed in that is. There, that's the maximum zoom that it's done, and that's pretty clear. Wow, that is really good. So if I zoom out, you'll see what that original image was when I was zoomed all the way in. So that's it there, that's it there, that's it there, there I am, and that's it all the way out. That's impressive. Wow, this camera is very cool. And then on the right, you can see over here, it's the same make, but that's the microphone that's plugged in. So that's available for sound through the camera now as well. But that zooming in is just unbelievable. That is so cool. What do you guys think of that? That's cool, eh? Wow. Very, very cool. So the other thing I wanted to do was, I've got my keyboard here, and I've got some keys that I need to replace, and I wonder if I should do that now. So if I switch off the keyboard, that's now off, and then so these are the keys that I got for it. so it's the AWSD, so the gaming keys usually. I've got these for the Logitech keyboard, so they should fit. And we'll see what they look like. It does have a replacement little arm thing, so if I can pull that through. So I should be able to remove the keys off my keyboard and then put these on, and then that'll be cool. So yeah, so this is one of the keys here. So let's do the A. So that's them. Let's have a look at these. So that's very cool. So they've got a little bit of a bevel on them. So if I can get that to focus on my hand. Hello. Focus there. No, no, no. Or maybe do it on this one, and then you can see it on the big screen. Nope. Okay, so that's not zooming in there. So that's the SAWD. So you're supposed to grab the key and pull it off, and then you can put on the next one. So that just pulls off like so. So there. So I've removed that key, which is the A. So you can see how worn away it is from playing games and typing and all that kind of stuff. So that's it there. And then we've got the new A, which is this one here. And you can see it's beveled. So if I can take over the screen here, let's see if my phone, it's not adjusting. So there, so that's the A, and that's the old A. So let's put that aside. And then what we do is position that to the side, make sure it lines up. And then we should just be pushing it down, and that's in now. So that, how cool does that look? Whoa. So there, that's there. So that's the new A key, so that's done. And then we can do the S. So what I need to do is push down on that, and then it'll pop off. Like so, and just give it a wiggle, pulls it off. So that's the old S key, which doesn't look like it's an S, it's just a white mush. So there's no real, there's nothing really on there. So that's S now. So we'll put the S on, line it up, clip it in. That works. Then we'll do D, pull it off. There we go. That's the D key. We'll get the D on. And then the W. So I'll pull off the W. So that's the W key. And we'll put that W key back in here. So that's the new one. There we go. So that's all the new keys set up. So from this camera here, where I'm sort of pointing, that looks pretty cool. And then from this camera in the front, from the streaming camera, that looks pretty cool. And it's got a little bit of bevel on them, so you can feel the keys. So that's the new keys I've just now put in, and see how they go on the keyboard. And there's the lights shining through them. So that looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? So that's the new keys I've got available now on the keyboard. So I can get rid of these older ones, which are all worn away. And I've also got arrow keys, which I can replace, but I don't need replacing yet because they haven't worn away. The only thing is, the shift key is sort of wearing away, but I can't find just a shift key. You can buy all the keys, but it costs nearly as much as buying a new keyboard, so I don't really need just a shift key. So that's done, so I'm happy that's done. So that was easy to do and get set up, but that looked pretty cool on the keyboard with those buttons now being red, and then with the lights and the RGB and everything going on around. So that's pretty awesome. So that was done. Close the box. Okay, so we put that back here. We'll replace it around. Oop. So there we go. And that's it there. I'll close that camera off, and I'll go to this here. I'll just have a look and see what's going on. So yeah, so what I did was I just replaced the keys on my keyboard with these ones here. So that looks, these red ones here, so that looks quite different now. Actually looks really cool. So yeah, very cool, very cool. So okay, so that's done. So is anyone else looking at wanting to see the setup or anything like that? Because that's there. So I've done, okay. So we've had a look at that camera, which is quite a cool one. So that's a very cool camera. It's a 4K streaming camera, and you can record with OBS as well, which is pretty impressive. It's a very cool camera. I do like it. It's so cool. So that's there. Then the remote. I spoke about the remote, and I'm just trying to see. Yeah, okay, so that's fine, that's all done. And there, so if you guys are joining now, thank you very much. I've just been looking at some of the products that I've got to review, and been setting them up and just testing a few things to see how they work, and get those filmed and ready. We just looked at that projector, and that's going to be coming out soon as a video, so be sure to catch that. If you haven't subscribed, please do so you don't miss out. And then you can see what that projector's like, and compared to the other projectors that I've reviewed before that. The other thing is, let me know what you guys want to ask me. Ask me anything about how I review stuff. What type of things I review, when I review them, anything like that. And then I'm happy to answer those for you. And we'll just see how I test the products, and get used to using them, because I don't just do the unboxing and then just say that's it. I try and use the product for a bit to try and see if everything works that I use it for. I might not cover absolutely everything in a review, and that's where people would ask the questions in the comment section, which helps, because then that obviously guides me in the next one to go, okay, I need to cover off that, or I need to do X, Y, and Z extra, or whatever that might be. So yeah, feel free to drop any questions in the chat. Participate, ask your question, I'll answer it for you, and then we can carry on with that. What did I want to look at? I was looking at something earlier and I've misplaced it now. Well, what I actually need to do is, if I can bring this here, well, that's a bit close. I've got my carnivorous plants over here, so what I'm going to do is water them while I talk, because they actually need some water. So that's that one, and then I've got these other ones over here which I'll water. I'll show you them now, but they just need a bit of water so I can leave them again, otherwise they dry out, and you don't want them to dry out, and you're supposed to water them from the bottom. So I do have carnivorous plants which I look after as well, so that's over here, that's these ones, and there's a Venus flytrap which we're covering, and then over here we've got a monkey cup. They're called monkey cups because the inside of the cup has got a sweet liquid, and that attracts flies and other bugs and things like that. So it attracts them, and the monkeys drink it because it's sweet. So it's like drinking a sweet drink of some sort. I'm just checking a few things here. Okay. Yeah, so ask your questions and I'll answer them for you. Let me know what you think. So I've got a couple of videos that will be coming out soon, which will be well, sort of a spoiler now for some of you guys. It's a projector. There will be another projector coming out. A wireless remote, which is a universal remote. That is very cool. This thing is quite powerful, the way it just seems to program anything and anything, and anything and everything. I've got a 4K streaming camera that I'm reviewing. I've got the Xbot Chameleon. Now, this Xbot Chameleon is a sports camera recording device. This thing is very clever. They are now releasing a new one, which will be coming out, I think, in January, available to the public. And it's the newer version of this one, which has got 2 cameras on it. But this one is a little tripod camera that you put on a tripod, and you have to raise it up quite high depending on the sport that you're watching. So this one here, that's the camera that follows the match. It can tilt up and down as well on its own. And then what you do is you slot your phone in on the top here, and the phone sits over here, and then the phone will do the recording of the sport. So it's got a USB-C plug at the back, so you can charge it there. It's got the power button in the front, and then it's got the indicator lights underneath on how it works. And then what it does is it swivels on top of the silver piece, so it can move left and right, and you can control it from that. And what it does is this follows the sport that's being played, so whether it's football or tennis or whatever, and it will follow the person or the ball that's being played in the match. And then there is also an option for track me. So what you can do is you can track the person specifically, so it will follow that person around and see what they're doing on the pitch, so you can follow them and it will record just that person. It can also follow shirt numbers as well, and you can also put live scores, and you can share the URL with family and friends, and they can watch it from wherever they are. So that's quite a cool little thing, and it works really well. It does work. So I've been recording some sport with that, so 2 different sports. I've been recording football and I've been recording paddle. So I've got those videos to edit, and then I'm going to be putting that video out. So that's another video that's going to be coming out. But this is a really cool product. I do like this one, and it's quite heavy as well, so you can feel it's well made and it's solid. And I'd like to get my hands on the new one, which is looks pretty impressive. So that's this thing here, and then it comes with a little remote, which is also quite nice. So that's the little remote over there. So it's trying to connect now. It connects through their app, and then what you do is you've got the rotation of the device, so you can switch between there. So if I press those buttons there, it will cycle through these options here, and the first one is record or stop recording. The next one is take a photo or not, that's that one. And then the next one is to rotate it up and down, left and right. And then the last one is a marker. So basically when you're filming the game, you can go to that option, press this button, and it will mark the video with a little marker. So when you look at the actual footage, you'll see these little spots wherever you've pressed that button when that option is selected, and it will mark the video, so you know that something happened there. So maybe a goal was scored, or a tackle was made that was dangerous, or you want to review something, or there was a fight, or whatever that might be. You can go back and review that, and it will give you that little tag. It's sort of an indicator to go back and look at that. So this is yeah, so that's the product I'm busy with now. So I'm editing those videos as well, so there's quite a lot of editing going on. I've got a bunch of these, which are solar panels from the Alsu brand. Alsu are the cameras that I've been reviewing. Really cool cameras. So these are all the solar panels they sent me, so I can power the cameras with those, and those will keep them, topped up and that. So hopefully it's nice and bright and sunny. That will keep them going.
but that's basically everything for now that I've been looking at and testing. But I really wanted to try and get that um, camera viewing. So what I'll do next time is I want to try and I definitely want to try and see if I can get a stream with both cameras, because that's a 4K option, and it's just, yeah, the camera quality is just amazing. When I do the zooming in, it was so cool. I zoomed in from about the camera's about 1.5 meters from me, and I started zooming in, and it zoomed in and zoomed in and zoomed in and zoomed in on my shoulder, and it had you could actually see the threads in the shirt, in the fabric. That's how good the zooming in was. It was clear. It wasn't like blurry or anything. So I'm very impressed with that. Um, so that's my time today with regards to the live. So I just want to say thanks for joining me today, everyone. Whoever did join, I just want to say thanks. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the questions that were coming through. I will be doing another live at some point. We can see what the topic's about, and you guys can join and ask questions again if you want, or let your friends know who might be interested. And we'll see if we can do some more behind the scenes. Maybe I'll show you more of my PC and the setup and everything like that. And I hope to see you all in the next one. So keep well, look after yourselves, and thanks again for joining. Cheers.